Ready to put your house on the market, but you're not sure how to price your home correctly? It's a tricky process. You want to make sure that you don't price it too high, that you risk scaring away potential buyers, or you don't want to price it too low and end up leaving money on the table. So it's understandable that you feel overwhelmed, but don't worry, you're not alone. In this video, I'll dive into 5 tips that will help you price your home correctly and so that you can walk away with the most money possible in your pocket. And make sure that you stay all the way to the end to tip number 5, which is a really good one. And as a bonus, if you stay to the very end, I'll share a story with you of how I helped homeowners earn an extra $80,000 on their home by pricing it just right. So tip number 1 is when it comes to figuring out how to price your home, the first step would be to get an instant home evaluation. So you can find a number of these online, and this will just give you a general ballpark of how much your house is worth. And also it will take into account current market trends. However, it is important to remember that these instant home evaluation platforms don't always factor in unique details or unique features of your home that can significantly increase or decrease your home's value. So some special features of your home obviously would be upgrades that you've done that these home evaluation forms don't know, or whether you've got this amazing view, or on the negative, if you're actually situated by a noisy intersection or by a freeway. And also doesn't factor in whether your neighborhood is highly desirable and properties are selling very quickly, or if homes are selling at a moderate pace. But at least if you go to these and in an instant, you will have a general ballpark figure, which leads us to tip number 2, find out the comps. So what are comps? Well, if you're not a professional real estate agent like myself, then you might not know that comps are the comparable sales in the area. So what has recently sold, what's gone pending, and what is active on the market. And also taking a look and into account the days on market. So how many days did it take for a property to go pending? And connect with an experienced realtor that can help you go over all this information. And this difference can help you figure out what is the best price to list your property. So diving into the comps, we can go into my website and look at a specific neighborhood. So make sure to, whatever your square footage is, say it's 1,500 square feet, I would go about 200 square feet above and 200 square feet below. So I would look at properties at, say, 1,300 square feet or 1,700 square feet. And at least this will give you a good benchmark on the properties in the neighborhood. I also would go out by a quarter of a mile. And if you can't find any comparable sales in that area, then obviously just go out a little bit more. Also take a look at the number of bedrooms. So if possible, try to go for the same number of bedrooms. And then if you can't match up the bathrooms, then just get it as close as possible. But I think the number of bedrooms is most important. Also have properties sold in the last 90 days. So you want to look at those properties most. You don't want to pick a property that sold 6 months ago or a year, because that wouldn't give you a good benchmark of what prices are selling for now. And also look at the condition and the house. Is it similar? Is it the similar type of condition, upgrades, renovations? And also look at the outdoor space. How much outdoor space do they have compared to yours? The lot size? Does the competition have a really nice landscaped area that's good for entertaining? And how does that compare to your property? Does it have a swimming pool? Does yours have a swimming pool? So take that into account when you're trying to figure out the price. So take all these factors into consideration if you can, and add value to your home or subtract it. And tip number 3 is don't overvalue your renovations. According to a survey by Remodeling Magazines, you only recoup about 62% of what you've spent on renovations. So don't think that you're going to get dollar for dollar payback on what you've spent on remodeling your bathroom, kitchen, or backyard. Now moving on to tip number 4, don't overlook the negative. You've been in your house for a few years and obviously you loved it when you first moved in, and you've kind of grown accustomed to certain things in your house or even outside your house. But think about it unbiasedly and look at your house through someone who's never been here before, and how would they view your house and the surrounding area. Is there a school nearby where their bell is ringing every hour on the hour? Is there a fire station where the fire trucks are going out and there's a lot of noise? Or are there power lines that are close by that are blocking the view from your window? So make sure that you take these into account when pricing your home. Some things that don't bother you might bother a potential buyer, and limit the amount of people that will offer on your house. And again, so you need to take this into account when pricing your home. And my last tip, number 5, is to maximize the number of showings. So your number one goal when pricing your house and selling it is to get the maximum number of people in your house. And that's based on pricing it fairly or just even a little under market price to get the maximum number of buyers walking through your front door. Because if you think about it, if someone doesn't walk through your front door and fall in love with your house, chances are they're not going to make an offer. So you want to price your house fairly in comparison to the competition so that you get the maximum number of buyers coming in and falling in love with your house. And if they think it's fair, then hopefully they'll put in an offer, and there'll be more than one buyer that puts in an offer, and then you can bid up the price. Also, think back to when you first started looking for your house in your neighborhood. You probably went to 3, 4, maybe a dozen houses in your neighborhood before picking the one that you own now. And how did it compare to the other houses that were on the market? Now put yourself in the buyer's shoes right now. Before they come to your house, they are going to be looking at the competition. They're going to know what is a fair price, what's overpriced, what's underpriced. So to get the maximum number of buyers into your house, you need to price your home fairly. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And also, please make sure to watch the video on staging so you know how to stage your house on a budget. And thank you so much for staying till the end. I want to share a story with you on how I listed a house, and this couple had actually spent about $90,000 in renovations. So the house was worth around $750,000, but all the houses in the neighborhood, the highest sold price was $700,000, or actually a little bit lower at $675,000 and $680,000. So the house definitely was worth more, but I think in the eyes of a buyer, if they saw this high ticket price at $750,000, even though I put in the description and you can see from the photos that the house has been renovated, I think a lot of buyers would have been put off by this high sticker price. The homeowners listened to their trusted real estate agent and priced it accordingly to the competition. So we did end up pricing it at $700,000, so which was at the high end of their neighborhood given the size and how many bedrooms they had. But there were so many people that came because they obviously saw that it was priced fairly. They came in and there were so many buyers that loved the house. We had multiple offers, but there were 2 buyers that really loved the house and they really wanted it, and they could see how much money and effort was put into the house, and the house eventually sold for $780,000. So which is $80,000 more than market price. Thank you for staying to the end, and check out my other videos on my channel, and have an awesome day.